Welcome back to Monitor Web Television and our next episode. This time we will have two distinguished guests from other countries. It will be Norway, and we will also have a guest from Germany with us in the studio. So don't miss this episode. But we will be back in a few seconds. Welcome here back to the studio, and I think that many of you have already read the latest issue of Monitor, and as you see there is an article about the NAB show in Las Vegas, and there is also some articles about post-production. We will have one guest from Norway. It's our editor-in-chief of Monitor Norway, Geir Bergersen, with us on Skype, and then afterwards we will also have Sebastian Rasfeld from FilmLight with us here in the studio. And we will have, I hope we have Geir now on Skype. Do you hear me, Geir?
I hear you.
Oh,
loud there.
And I can actually see you also.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, nice to have you here, digitally.
Yeah, thanks.
And you are now in Norway. I'm in Sweden, Gothenburg. How is weather there in Norway?
I do think it's the same all over Skagerrak now. It's a great sun here.
Yeah,
bright and clear.
Oh, I think we have something similar here. It's not too far actually. You only take the ferry from the west coast of Sweden, then you come over to the east coast of Norway.
To the county of Vestfold, where Monitor Norway is situated. Yes.
Great. That's nice. And Geir, you are the editor-in-chief of Monitor Norway, and you were in Las Vegas some weeks ago. So you know everything about the latest trends in the industry. Can you tell us what did you pick up there? What's happening in our trade?
It's very interesting to be in Las Vegas because I've been following this industry now for over 20 years, and in the last 14 years I've been in NAB show in Las Vegas. What's very interesting now is what's going to happen with 4K and what's going on in the way infrastructure for broadcasters and film studios, how that is going to develop.
Oh, really? I think it's a lot of buzz about the 4K technology. And I hear myself when I speak to producers that some are really excited about 4K, some are really investing equipment, some others are doubting. What did you see there?
I do think the big question that you should ask yourself is in which way you should use 4K. I do think that 4K is a great way to go and film and shoot material. But I'm quite unsure if I would be a CTO of a broadcast station that I would invest in a 4K production line, because then the cost will be like double or maybe more. And I'm not sure that the television viewers are ready for paying for this, or the advertiser. I'm not sure that the market is like demanding this in the same way as they did for HD.
So is that because of the workflow problems and implications and costs, or is it?
You have to think, if you are going 4K, you have to double your storage, you have to upscale your infrastructure. It's a whole other kind of setup. That's I think is the challenge. That's the economical challenge. The other challenge is that if you should manage to provide 4K to the viewers, the industry got a challenge, because even though we got like Netflix saying that they're going to show their views 4K, they may do, but in what kind of quality, what kind of codec are they going to do this, and is the quality difference big enough and good enough that it will compete with HD? That's the big issue, I think.
Oh, really? And can it also be that people are waiting for 8K?
I do think that I was talking with some vendors, American vendors who was operating on the West Coast, and their impression, having a discussion with the big American station at the West Coast, at least, was that the better it would be 8K before 4K, because the time for investment in the infrastructure due the transmitting will take so long time.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's interesting. And besides 4K implementation and problems and issues, was there anything else that you noticed during the show? Some trends?
For a gadget freak, it was a lot of, I mean, always America, it's a lot of gadgets. And so you could, I mean, it's the big drone show. This was NAB with the big drone show.
Oh, really?
So you can get a drone everywhere, different kind of product, different kind of features, and a lot of different kind of rigs for DSLR or all the setup. It's interesting now that the rig is costing more than the camera, and triple of the cost of the cameras in many situations. That's quite interesting, I think.
Okay, that's interesting to hear. And our next guest here in the studio is Sebastian Rasfeld from Germany, and we will speak to him later about post-production and grading. How about Norway, Geir? How is grading? Has grading come to Norway?
Yeah, grading has come to Norway for a long time. But I think the big challenge for grading is it's been a big competition now, both for commercials and feature film, that you have to, the viewers are demanding a great look, and to get a great look you have to grade it, of course. The question is in what kind of post-production setup you're going to do. Are you going to do it with your own, or are you going to do it with a big post house? And there is different kind of development depending on different kind of place in the Norwegian market.
Thank you very much, Geir, for sharing this with us. Nice to talk to you. And this brings us on to our next guest then in our show, and that's Sebastian Rasfeld from FilmLight in Germany or England. We will speak to him in a few seconds. We'll be back after about 10 seconds with him. Nice to have you here, Sebastian.
Thank you very much.
I will also remember to put these off. I don't need them anymore. Sebastian Rasfeld, you come all the way from Germany.
Exactly.
Very nice to have you here in Gothenburg.
Thank you very much for the invitation.
And now I'm happy that you landed safely yesterday.
Yeah, big thunderstorm.
Yeah, you told us about the turbulence that you faced there. But we're not speaking about flights, we're speaking about post-productions. Exactly. And you said to me you're a colorist by profession.
Yes, well, I studied media technology in Germany, and then I became a colorist and started working on the good old Pogel at a public broadcaster, WDR, in Germany, and then moved on into grading, and then worked a lot with FilmLight, with the Baselight grading products, and then after a few years I started working for FilmLight.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
And FilmLight, when I spoke to Geir, I was a little bit uncertain. Is it based in Germany or is it based in England?
No, it's based in England. It's a UK company. The headquarters is in LA. Sorry, not in LA, in London. But we do have offices in LA and in Singapore and Sydney and, you know, all over the world basically.
Okay.
Headquarters in London.
Interesting. And we have the latest issue of Monitor here, and it's, you know, the theme for this issue is post-production, and we have here on page 18 an article about FilmLight, also a video that our viewers can see on our web TV. And but it's not only FilmLight. There are other trademarks also on the market. Of course, several different. So now, when you're here, what is FilmLight featuring, and what kind of workflow?
Well, we are basically, we started with the scanner in our tradition, 2002, when we founded the company, or when the company was founded. And then soon after that, we started FilmLight color grading. And core of that was not only the grading part, also the color management, TrueLight, and which is always included in FilmLight in the product. But now everybody is talking about workflows, and we're going into the workflow idea to connect in post-production and even production to make things more efficient. So we expanded quite with plugins for different machines like Avid, Nuke, Final Cut, and of course we have our own grading systems and also on-set systems.
Oh, that's interesting. You brought a little video that we should watch here. It describes the workflow.
Yes, exactly.
And maybe when we get it on the picture, you can comment.
Yeah. Well, nowadays, the topic is FilmLight at every stage, and we start much earlier in the production chain. So even before production, so pre-production, we can start to create looks, and we can create them with different products that we offer, and then we can use them throughout the whole production chain and be sure that we see it everywhere at every stage, the same pictures. So for instance, when we start on set, we have the look live on set from the camera. So on the camera SDI output, we can see actually the look on the live image, including all secondaries, shapes, glows, blurs. So there is no limitation what you usually used to have with a lookup table that could only do primaries. Then we have a new dailies software, and the dailies can create different resolution. It can do a lot of automated processes and stuff that you need creating these. And then of course we have post-production, we have editing, we have plugins for different software, for Avid, for Final Cut, and for Nuke. And Adobe will be coming in the future as well.
Okay.
Hopefully for IBC. And then of course we have our grading system, which is supporting also the same color grading tools.
That's very interesting.
Yeah.
So thinking about this that we just saw now, it seems like the post-production process can start actually even in the pre-production or during the shoot.
Yes, well the idea is that you can do it at any time, because we get away from this linear workflow. Like everything should happen, or people want to do everything at the same time. They shoot soon after they shoot, and we allow, with separating our workflow, the metadata workflow from the data workflow.
Fantastic. So, and there were a few different products mentioned here, Flip and FilmLight, and there's something called Northlight. Flip, is that the thing that you bring on set?
Yeah. Flip is our FilmLight image processor, and that is a box that you have on set, and then you have an SDI input, actually two SDI inputs for two cameras, and then you can see on your monitor in the studio on set already how the picture can look like after grading.
Fantastic.
Including all, and there's no limitation to, you know, any of the functions that you have in the FilmLight. Okay. So you have all the functions that you have in the finishing, in the grading suite, also on set.
So when it comes to FilmLight, that's a finishing equipment?
Well, FilmLight is the grading system, so the classical grading suite, but it's not an island anymore. So it needs to interact with editing, and it needs to interact with VFX, and all this is now being done without rendering, without copying, and without transcoding things. Just exchanging small little data files. It's OpenEXR files. Okay. So they're very small. You can send them by email on a USB key or whatever. And you save a lot of time in your workflow.
And the product called Northlight, was that the scanner?
That was the scanner. Or is still the scanner.
It's still the scanner. Yeah, I have to keep things apart here. And there was a document also that you brought. Should we take a look at that?
Yeah.
And you can describe here.
So in this document we see very nicely illustrated the separation from the creative part, which is the top, where we have the BLG file, which is the Baselight grade file that contains all this metadata. This is the OpenXR file that has all the layers and all the grading parameters in it. And you can see how it can be transported between the systems. And as I said, this is just so small that you can use email or send it or use a USB key or whatever. Mm-hmm. And then below that, we have the data flow. And you don't really actually want to do too much work on this. This should be all automated, basically, okay. Because people have a central storage nowadays, and that should be taking part there. Yeah. But the creative process can be separated from that. It makes it much more efficient.
Wow, oh, that's interesting. So post-production here, it sounds very expensive though. And usually it is very expensive. It used to be expensive. Now, how important is to invest money in the post-production and grading? How important is it for the production?
Well, I think it is very important, and it becomes even more important, and a lot of people see that. And we have now grading in parts where people did not do grading before. Because it creates a better quality, a nicer look of the image. You can support atmosphere much more with using different kinds of lights and colors, and I think that's brings up a higher quality.
So it's worth the money then.
Yeah.
And there are, as we saw also in Monitor, there are different brands on the market. Some are almost for free, and some are very expensive. How much would one have to spend for a FilmLight piece of equipment?
Well, we have different, the software is all the same, so we have no difference there, but the entry grading level, so a whole grading system, Baselight 1 as we call it, which is the smallest one we have, with a small grading panel, very nice slate panel, would be about like 50,000 euros. Okay. For the start. Yeah. So we're not anymore, before people were saying, oh, FilmLight, nothing below 100,000 euros. Okay. Not true anymore. We have affordable solutions as well.
Prices are coming down. Yeah. When it comes to post-production, that's nice.
Yeah.
Nice. And you have customers all over the world, I know.
Yes.
Do you have any happy customers that you can...
Oh, most of them are very happy.
Okay.
Yeah. They can, and that's what we value as well. We want them to focus on the pictures. We want to have them a peace of mind, and that is why we have a professional support as well. So if something breaks down, 24 hours they call us, and we ship the new parts out. Yeah. Nice. Yeah. So they can really focus on creating beautiful pictures, and we take care of the rest.
You also brought a short video clip from one of your customers.
Yes. I brought one from Grundy Ufa, which is one of our television soap opera producers in Germany. And they're using FilmLight technology, and they're using Flip on set together with Baselight. And it shows very nicely how more efficient they got, because before they were producing 5 episodes per week. Now with this technology they produce 7 episodes per week. Yeah.
So it's faster.
It's much more stable. The picture quality during the chain made them produce more in shorter time.
Should we take a look at the video?
Yeah, absolutely.
And see what they say.
We were faced with substantial cuts to the production budget by the broadcaster. The producers needed us to save money, and one of our big ideas was to say, if we could see how a scene looked with its finished graded color actually there on the set, then one of the advantages would be to make the filming quicker. And this would speed up our workflows, making the process much more efficient. We went to FilmLight with this idea 5 years ago, and they developed a prototype for us. The results were conclusive. We found by having the look on set we could speed up the lighting setups and maximize the shooting day. We got the same results in the color grade. The rushes files returned complete with their on-set corresponding looks. We saved a lot of time in the whole process. This is Forbidden Love, a glossy, glamorous show we make in Cologne. And this is Good Times, Bad Times. This is made here in Berlin. That's a more real and gritty format.
Diese beiden Looks sind sehr
These two looks are very different.
Flip ermöglicht uns,
And with
alle
Flip,
Baselight
we can
Grading
adjust all the
Elemente
Baselight
live on
grading
set zu
elements
nutzen
live
und
on
anzupassen.
set.
Diese
We then
modifizierten
round trip with the grading
Grading-Parameter geben wir
metadata
dann via
for the
Metadaten
colorists to
zurück
finish,
zum
again,
Koloristen,
with
der
access to
wiederum
all
die
the grading
Möglichkeit
elements.
hat, alle Grading-Parameter
This goes way
anzupassen,
beyond just applying a
was über die
LUT.
Nutzung einer reinen LUT weit hinausgeht.
So here we have all the grades from the shoot, and we can then adjust as we like. We're more in control.
Wir haben das Grading
We have created on
Looks für alle
Baselight the grading and
permanenten
looks of all the permanent interior
bereitgestellt.
sets.
Darauf
We now have a
taucht der
library of
Lichtbilder
looks
die
which is
erstellt
stored on
und auf
Flip.
dem Flip gespeichert.
A lighting gaffer uses the Flip scene grade and has corresponding lighting presets.
Entsprechende Lichtsetups.
The look of the set can perhaps be a sunny day or nighttime with characters watching TV.
In dem die Darsteller Fernseh
All this can be
schauen.
achieved by pressing a
All
few
das kann durch
buttons.
nur wenige Knopfdrücke geschehen.
That was interesting. Thank you for sharing this with us.
Yeah, you're very welcome.
Yeah, it's always interesting to see how others use different solutions, and this case it was FilmLight.
Yeah. We also have another customer called Coronation Street, very successful TV soap in the UK. They also use this together with a round tripping between Avid and Baselight, and it's also very, very successful there.
Yeah, and there's another one in Monitor, actually.
Yeah,
it was a Bacon post house in Copenhagen.
Yeah.
So we went there, actually made a little video. So all you viewers, you can see that in the magazine and on our web TV, how they are working in the Bacon studio.
It's very interesting because they do it actually with a Nuke plugin, which is very nice because it shows the nice connection between Baselight and the VFX side.
That's nice. Well, thank you very much, Sebastian, for coming to us here in Copenhagen, in Gothenburg. sorry.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, nice to have you here.
Yeah.
And we also thank you, viewers, who have been with us today. And don't miss our next episode. It will come in a few weeks, where we have new guests and new super interesting topics to speak about. So bye for now, and see you next time.